I have played GTA 3 more times than I can remember, and although this was the first 3D GTA game, for some reason, Rockstar managed to create one of the most atmospheric worlds I have ever been to in a video game. The aesthetics of GTA 3 really is timeless, and with such aesthetics comes one of the most disturbing worlds as well. Set in Liberty City, which is a fictional city parodying New York City, no wonder this is one of the most disturbing worlds crafted by Rockstar. In this video, we will take a look at the GTA 3 disturbing theories iceberg, and the lower we go, the darker everything gets. During the mission Kanbu Bust Out, the player has to break Yakuza member Kanbu out of prison.
My sister speaks highly of you, though I'm yet to be convinced that a gaijin can offer anything but disappointment. Perhaps you could help deal with a situation that has me at a disadvantage. Of course, failure has its own disgrace. A Yakuza Kanbu is in custody awaiting transfer for trial. He is a valued member of the family. Break him out of custody and get him to the dojo at Bedford Point.
When the player arrives outside the cell, someone is getting beaten up inside, likely Kanbu. Once the car bomb detonates, the cell's wall collapses and the cell is exposed as the player waits for Kanbu to get into their vehicle. There is a lot of blood with some bloody handprints on the wall. The same blood texture is also in the bathroom of apartment 3C in GTA Vice City. It was a simple reuse of assets. But why is the wall that bloody and why are there hand textures? If you think about it, in GTA Vice City, the resident of that apartment was simply trying to beg for mercy. Because of that, you can see how there would be the prints on the wall. Not to mention, there was a chainsaw beside it too. You can put 2 and 2 together and figure out the rest for yourself. But it makes no sense that there would be that much blood on the walls in GTA 3. This led people to theorize that Liberty City police forces are corrupted and brutal. We do not get to see how brutal they are because we don't get to see inside of a jail cell that many times. But the theory goes deep and suggests that police brutality happens every day, but the state has no idea of the corruption. And because of the fact that most of the cops are corrupted, their brutality never got revealed. In my opinion, when the bomb went off and the wall exploded, the cop behind the wall died, and that's why the blood was all splattered along with the handprints. Cedar Grove is the only rural area in Liberty City. Most of the location is inaccessible and full of glitches, mainly due to only some part of it being solid and having collision. That can cause the player to fall into blue hell or find the ghost town. Blocked off tunnels in this area lead to upstate Liberty. It is believed in GTA 3 that the players could find Bigfoot in this location. In GTA Liberty City stories, the cryptid reported in the area is called the Woods Creature, though that is more connected to GTA Liberty City stories rather than GTA 3. Numerous reports of minor myths have also been around this area, most notable being a strange, abandoned vehicle and Catalina's ghost. Some players have claimed to hear Catalina's voice when wandering around the Cochrane Dam. It's also reported that an apparition of her will attack the player, but I don't think that is real since I haven't seen anything in the game that suggests this. In my opinion, I think someone mistook a pop-in for her ghost, or it is simply a hoax. The haunted bathroom is located in Belleville Park. It is where Claude is given missions by Ray Makowski, but there are several rumors of ghosts appearing at around midnight. The bathroom is abandoned, as no pedestrians are known to spawn within it. The room itself is covered in graffiti, which further makes it have an eerie, abandoned feeling. The myth was started in late 2004 to early 2005, when a player was rumored to have heard footsteps in the bathroom. The myth appears to be a simple glitch. Due to the trees located outside the bathroom, pedestrians trying to walk around them may become glitched within the walls of the bathroom. This means the player will be able to hear them trying to walk away without being able to see them.
Yo, baby, feel like Max?
Sorry!
You got any bright ideas? What
was...
If the player stands near the apartment in Hepburn Heights that's not playing music, a raspy, low, growl-like evil voice is heard. Although there are 2 audio files with the voice, a third one can also be heard. All instances of the voice are unintelligible. Many of these possessed by demons are witnessed speaking in tongues or inexplicable muttering. The area is coincidentally held by the Diablos gang, meaning devils, which leaves many to believe it's a demon. The area is not commonly visited by players, and the neighboring buildings play music, which can lead players away from the demonic sounds. The Haunted Opera House is located in Bedford Point, Staten Island in 2001 during the setting of GTA 3, whereas in 1998 during the setting of GTA Liberty City Stories, the Liberty City Cemetery is located here. This has led players to believe that the opera house is haunted by ghosts of the people who were laid to rest in the disturbed cemetery. However, as GTA Liberty City Stories serves as a prequel and was made after GTA 3, it is most likely false, as Rockstar would not have planned this far ahead when working with a simple game engine. Furthermore, the opera house is also inaccessible to the player, further supporting the belief that this myth is probably false. Not much is known about the Distant Eyes, because it is an extremely unknown and old myth at this point, rarely mentioned in some forums of the game. Players have reported seeing what appears to be a pair of glowing yellow eyes that watch the player from a distance in the sea, possibly belonging to an even more monstrous and enigmatic creature. It is currently unknown what type of creature the alleged eyes belong to, but it certainly creates a feeling that you are being watched while playing GTA 3. I will talk more about this later in this iceberg. This myth claims that an abandoned, damaged banshee spawns at Cedar Grove Woods. There is a theory that a drunk driver was heading to the Portland Tunnel, but crashed somewhere in Cedar Grove, and that his ghost haunts anybody who enters the car. There are also some rumors that the player can see his corpse appearing at night, but this is proven false, as the banshee is just a glitch. If the car is parked and driven somewhere near the glitched area, the car will spawn somewhere else. The serial killer is a pedestrian in Grand Theft Auto 3 who bears a strong likeness to Mr. Trenchcoat, another serial killer from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. This pet can be found on Portland Island, mostly in areas like Salvatore's house and Trenton. He wears a fedora, a long trench coat, and boots. He is called the serial killer because he looks very much like a similar pet in GTA San Andreas, who, as I have already mentioned, also is rumored to be a serial killer. Players have reported that the serial killer pet would attack them unprovoked and with no warning at all. Some players reported that the pet spawns with weapons as well. After investigating the weapons part of the myth, he does not spawn with guns, unless the player activates a cheat which enables the NPCs to have weapons. The serial killer pet has been investigated thoroughly, and nothing out of the ordinary was discovered about him. The pedestrian exists, but it is proven that he is, in fact, not a serial killer and is just a normal pedestrian. The pedestrian model was also reused for Marty Chonks, an actual serial killer in Liberty City. The Liberty Tree Myth article titled "Killer Bees Not a Threat in Liberty City" featured on Rockstar's official website included numerous myths, some of which went on to become cult myths later in the series. The article was posted on July 1st, 2001 by Frederick Pierce and debates the plausibility of urban myths in Liberty City. The article claims that rumors are running wild around the city, including those about killer bees, strange weather, giant lizards, and zombies. The writer also stressed that such rumors are false and are an attempt to cause uproar in the state. The article further turns down any possibility behind the killer bees rumor and states that the atmosphere isn't adaptive for such beings and they aren't capable to survive in such latitudes. It is likely the mention of a giant lizard attacking the city is a reference to Godzilla, the gargantuan reptilian who stars as the antagonist of a series of tokusatsu films of the same name from Japan, first released in 1954. Alien landings and dog bands are also featured in different articles from the newspaper. The Stoughton View picnic area, also known as the abandoned beach, is at Cedar Grove on Shoreside, Vale. It is similar to another beach east of Portland, as both are uninhabited. In the game, the beach at Shoreside Vale is being referred to as a picnic area. Due to the abandoned condition of the beach, there is a persisting rumor that ghosts inhabit the area, usually around midnight in foggy weather conditions. The lack of pedestrians may be a hint towards their existence, but it cannot be said for certain whether ghosts appear here. Despite the fact that the Safehouse is an apartment building located inside a bustling part of the town, no one other than Claude himself can be found in this area. The uncanny desolation has caused multiple players to theorize that there is something paranormal located here, scaring the pedestrians away. One of the older myths in GTA 3 is that a demonic entity lives in one of the apartment blocks, which supposedly makes demonic noises and causes Claude to hear voices in his head. There has never been any substantial proof of this occurring though. Marty Chonks is a serial killer. He is the owner of the Bitchin' Dog food factory in Portland. During the game's story, his business runs into financial burden as his wife makes extravagant purchases and a corrupt bank manager has dramatically increased interest rates on his loan payments. To get his business back afloat, Chonks relies on criminal activity, including murder and insurance fraud.
The name's Chonks, Marty Chonks. I run the bitchin' dog food factory around the corner. I got money troubles, but hey, who doesn't, right? I'm meeting my bank manager later. He's a crooked bastard that keeps bumping up the loan repayments so he can cut a slice. Take my car, pick him up, and bring him back here. I got a little surprise for that blood-sucking leech.
All of Chong's missions involve Claude picking up those involved in his economic woes and taking them to the dog food factory where they are lured inside the building and murdered by Marty, followed by him dismembering the bodies of the victims and turning them into dog food.
Get your hands off me,
In order, his missions are the crook targeting the manipulative bank manager, the thieves targeting the two thieves involved in Chong's insurance fraud scheme who then turned on him.
I hired some thieves to break into my apartment and steal some stuff so I could claim on the insurance, as you do. The thieving bastards are threatening to tell the insurance company if I don't give them a cut. Can you believe it? I left the car inside the factory gates. Use it to go pick them up from their turf in the red light district. Then bring them back to the factory so I can make them see Marty's point of view.
And the wife, where the target is Chong's own wife.
The business is gonna go under unless I get a hold of some serious cash soon. My wife has an insurance policy and all she's ever been to me is a hole in my pocket. I've left the car in the usual place. Go and pick up my wife from Classic Nails and bring her back to the factory.
Marty wants to see me? Well, it better be quick, because I have to get my hair done.
In his final mission, her lover, Claude, delivers a man named Carl who was having an affair with Mrs. Chonks. At the end of the mission, Carl reveals his plans to take over the factory from Chonks, to which he reveals a shotgun and shoots Chonks dead. The player has the choice to kill Carl, but his death does not impact the outcome of the mission.
Damn, I'm in trouble. Turns out my wife was seeing some guy I owe money to. He's got real angry, and he's looking for payback. I've agreed to see him. He thinks I'm gonna pay him off, but my guess is Liberty's dogs are gonna get yet another flavor this month.
Okay, I'm gonna show that kid the meaning of the word business.
Carl, hi. I need more time to get your money. But if you just step into my office...
It's far too late for that, Marty. You had your chance, but now I'm taking over the business. Loser! You're out!
Marty Chonks is considered a myth in the game because of his actions as a serial killer. In fact, his model is taken directly from the rumored serial killer Pedestrian, albeit with a different head. It is possible that Marty's appearance was the impetus for the theories about the killer Pedestrian. At times, the Pedestrian can confuse players and make them think that Chonks is walking the streets, either surviving his assassination attempt or committing murders outside of his missions. But these are just simple misidentifications. The Zaibatsu Corporation is a mega corporation and a crime syndicate that was first introduced in Grand Theft Auto 2 and is mentioned in Grand Theft Auto 3, dealing in both legitimate and illegal businesses. In Grand Theft Auto 2, the Zaibatsu Corporation was the most prominent gang, having territory in all three main districts of Anywhere City where the game was set. However, GTA 3 scarcely references them apart from Liberty Tree articles and commercials on the radio that advertised Equinox, one of their latest pharmaceutical products. In early screenshots of GTA 3, it was shown that certain areas such as the Chinatown district of Portland Island were going to feature posters and containers with Zaibatsu symbol emblazoned on them. This could imply that the Zaibatsu Corporation was originally going to play a larger role at some point in development before being reduced to their minuscule advertising campaign. The final game also never acknowledges the Zaibatsu Corporation as being anything more than a pharmaceutical company, making it unclear whether or not they were slated to be an actual gang at this point in the timeline. Keep in mind, GTA 2 is set in 1999, while GTA 3 takes place in 2001. Beta screenshots exist of an unidentified gang that would have appeared in areas that are now occupied by the Liberty City Triads and Diablos in the final game, the former residing in the Chinatown district, where much of the Zaibatsu paraphernalia would have been found. The myth of suicidal pedestrians is a very popular legend in the GTA community. This myth is also frequently referred to as the myth of the falling lemmings, which got its name from the 1991 puzzle video game Lemmings, a video game released by DMA Design, which would later be renamed to Rockstar North, the developers of the Grand Theft Auto series. The myth has been included as an Easter egg in the game ever since GTA 3. Here is a bit of me playing Lemmings on the PS Vita. Released for the PSP, it was the first game I have ever owned and played when I had my PSP. In the Aspatria Bedford Point Expressway tunnel on Staten Island, pedestrians may sometimes be seen running off the edge of the overhang above the tunnel. This is due to a pedestrian path glitch, and it is also because there is no fence or railing to prevent the pedestrians from going off the edge. Also, the pedestrian's AI is not smart enough to avoid the edge and fall off. This usually occurs if the player fires a weapon while inside the tunnel, and the pedestrians may flee in panic and accidentally run off the edge, where they will fall to their deaths in the tunnel. In the Wichita Gardens, just down the road by the Safehouse, pedestrians may sometimes be seen running from the right side footpath, then going into the water and drown. This is due to a pedestrian path glitch. Also, the pedestrians' AI is not smart enough to avoid the water, and ultimately they fall off. Pirate radio is a radio that should be on Grand Theft Auto 3 but is cut out. This radio was supposed to be in the game according to an anonymous person from Hidden Answers, a website from the deep web. The radio would be in the place of MSX FM with a different DJ from UK. The songs would be the same but with a different DJ, because when the game was in development, the police discovered that the DJ from this radio was a criminal in Pakistan. This myth could quite possibly be one of the first myths to originate from a Grand Theft Auto game. The myth is about Salvatore Leone, the leader of the Leone crime family, who is assassinated by GTA 3's protagonist Claude in the mission Sayonara Salvatore. Players have reported seeing his ghost around his home on Portland Beach. Most accounts generally describe his ghost as a full-bodied gray silhouette. Strangely, after he has been killed, the two mafia sentinels remain parked outside his mansion even though he doesn't live there anymore. Also, the piano music can be heard playing inside his house, even after his death. However, this is probably because the piano music is set as an ambience noise in his mansion. The game designers never bothered with making it stop after his death. Another strange thing is, when shooting bullets at the wall inside the mansion, the player cannot see their bullets hitting anything. Myth hunters also report seeing the silhouette of a figure when looking at the nearby lighthouse from the mansion. While using a sniper rifle, these sightings could possibly be a shadow that was misplaced. However, it could also indeed be the ghost of Salvatore himself. The Ghost Town is a small, non-solid portion of buildings and streets in Grand Theft Auto 3. It is not intended to be accessed during the normal gameplay. The Ghost Town is basically a small city block with the Liberty City Bank and some stores and apartments. This is the place where the opening cutscene takes place. The streets and buildings are non-solid, and the town cannot be accessed without glitches, mods, or hacks. The Ghost Town is floating in mid-air, underneath the large hills of upstate Liberty. The Ghost Town is the set for the opening cutscene of Grand Theft Auto 3, where Claude is helping Catalina rob a bank before being betrayed and shot. It is highly likely that Rockstar designed the Ghost Town simply for the introduction cutscene of the game and decided not to place it in Liberty City itself, so they simply placed it off the side of the map, where it would be difficult for the players to get to. In a Q&A, Rockstar said that the Ghost Town was meant to be a part of Liberty City. When a fan asked if the Ghost Town was Jakota Island taken out of the game, they said, "We didn't take an island out of the game. There were only ever the three. We think what people refer to as Ghost Town is just a small area of the city we built for the bank heist scene at the very start of the game. It never had a name, but we wanted it to be somewhere separate from the Liberty map, and so we built these few streets floating in space and assumed no one would ever find them. We noticed someone built a bridge mod so you can actually drive there now. The Ghost Town can be accessed with a dodo during normal gameplay, but the dodo is known for being extremely difficult to fly because the dodo is programmed as a car instead of plane, or by flying the tank using the low gravity cheat. Plus, the player won't be able to land on the Ghost Town because it is not solid, so if walked on, the player will fall into blue hell, except if mods are used. The Maibatsu Monstrosity is an unused vehicle from Grand Theft Auto 3. Players believed the vehicle could still be accessed in-game, developing several rumors and false strategies. The rumors around it were referenced in GTA Liberty City stories. The Monstrosity is an oversized SUV produced by Maibatsu. The vehicle only appears in a single advertisement visible in the game's manual, where it is claimed that the SUV guzzles gasoline and is equipped for harsh terrain. It highly resembles resembles the in-game Landstalker and may be an early model that was scaled up for the advertisement. The Monstrosity's model does not exist in the game's files, and the vehicle cannot be spawned in by any means. It was still a common topic in the early days of forum communities based around GTA 3, and several players launched a futile search for potential means of acquiring the vehicle or locations where it could possibly be hidden. A Rockstar employee referenced the Monstrosity in a rumor control forum post, jokingly declaring, "I drive my Maibatsu Monstrosity to work each day. You drive a perennial." No, this does not mean it exists. Rumors around the Monstrosity were mentioned in GTA Liberty City stories, in a Liberty Tree article about Maibatsu's lobbying efforts to ban motorcycles in Liberty City. Their new SUV is predicted to hit the streets in 2001, when GTA 3 is set. Phantom files, are also known as hidden game files, are files that are purposely hidden or improperly titled by Rockstar Games, intended to disguise and hide myths from those viewing on their PC. There are thousands of files per GTA game, making it difficult for a single person to open and view every one of them. Most people just skim over and glance at the file names, looking for one to stand out. In most cases, the person comes up empty, as they did not find a file titled with the name of a specific myth. Because of this, it has become widely believed in the myth hunting community that Rockstar anticipates that people are going to search the game files. So, in an effort to keep a myth secret, they disguise the name as something that it is not, possibly placing the file in a category where it should not belong, like a model being placed in the audio section. Others argue that Rockstar can hide files from a view entirely, making the file impossible to find. Some find the theory of phantom files unlikely. Skeptics believe that it is not possible nor ethical that Rockstar can hide a file from everything except a single program, including the user. One way to experience a phantom file is to modify the game and then incorrectly uninstall the file. In certain circumstances, this could lead to the game searching for a file that no longer exists, usually resulting in a crash or a glitched model in its place. In my opinion, this can be true, but I don't think they would start doing it from Grand Theft Auto 3, because it is the first 3D GTA game, so I do not find it to be likely. Donald Love is a character we come across while working for Ray. He tells Claude to collect and burn evidence of a client who had morgue parties, which is our very first introduction to Donald Love.
I know a real important man in town, a soft touch with, shall we say, exotic tastes and the money to indulge them. He's involved in a legal matter, and the prosecution has some rather embarrassing photos of him at a morgue party or something. The evidence is being driven across town. You are going to have to ram that car and collect each little bit of evidence as it falls out. When you've got it all, leave it in the car and torch it. We're both gonna do pretty well out of this, kid.
Learning the fact that Claude did the job makes Donald Love realize his potential. He even tells him that.
First of all, let me thank you for dealing with that personal matter. People will read something into anything these days. Experience has taught me that a man like you can be very loyal for the right price, but groups of men get greedy. A valued resource, an old Oriental gentleman I know, has been kept hostage by some South Americans in Espatria. They're trying to extort additional funds from me, but I don't believe in renegotiation. A deal is a deal, so they'll not see a penny from me. Go and rescue my friend. Do whatever it takes.
I personally think this reminded him of Tommy Vercetti and how he worked for Avery in GTA Vice City. Because keep in mind, Vice City is set before in the year 1986, whereas GTA 3 takes place in 2001. In GTA 3, his true nature never shines, but in reality, he is a cannibal. In the mission campaign in GTA Liberty City Stories, this has been revealed.
Antonio, que pasa, amigo?
You do know I'm Italian, don't you, Don? Not, Spanish?
Of course. How silly of me. I just love all the Romance languages. My God, this is good. It tastes just like chicken, but somehow more, sentient. You want some?
I already ate, thanks.
Ugh, too bad. It's fantastic. I have some more delicacies about to be served. The liberals would have a field day, of course, but how little they know of life's real pleasures. Sophistication and democracy have always been such uneasy bedfellows.
Listen, Don, we need to win this election, okay? We need to make sure that there's, no skeletons in the closet, if, you know what I mean?
Right.
What I mean is, how do we take care of this O'Donovan guy who is covering for, standing in for the Forellis?
The guy has a lot of people canvassing for him. All kinds of deluded people, if you know what I mean. I think we need to have their faith in democracy shaken, if you understand me.
What you mean is that I gotta go beat the crap out of them.
Oh, your passion, Antonio, it's magnificent. It's so, Wagnerian, you know? Arrivederci, amigo. Humphreys, bring out the offal.
Aside from him being a parody of Donald Trump, he is highly theorized to be Mr. Nasty from Manhunt. In order for you to understand this theory, I need to explain Manhunt a bit. Manhunt and GTA takes place in a shared universe. In Manhunt, you play as James Earl Cash. He is waiting to be executed and on the death row for 3 years. However, the staff instead uses an injection to simply knock him out. Set in Carcer City, Cash soon learns that he is being watched by a man named Starkweather. He is a movie director and Cash is the prey in his Snuff film. In order for Cash to survive, he has to do what the director tells him to do, which is to kill hunters as brutally as possible. The Snuff that are being directed by Starkweather is financially backed by Mr. Nasty, which means he is the producer of such films. Rockstar kept his identity completely hidden, and to this day, people theorize if we will ever get to know who Mr. Nasty is or was. However, Donald Love is highly theorized to be this person. Personally, I don't see it as a possibility. The personality of Donald Love is that of a politician. I just don't see him being someone like Mr. Nasty, though there are some theories that do suggest him having a dual personality. Not to mention, he is, after all, a literal politician, so it's probably not super far from being impossible.
Valiant Video Enterprises. Real hardcore, real fetish, real brutal. Videos made to order. New members only interactive forums. Now at www.valiant-ent.tv.
The reason people think of this is because they like to think that Donald Love loves to eat human flesh. So it would only make sense that he would be the producer of Starkweather's Snuff films, because in Carcer City, where Manhunt takes place, death is a regular occurrence, so corpses are always freshly available for consumption. Another reason is that it makes sense that he would also enjoy making such films due to him having a sadistic trait as well, which is also definitely possible. Carcer City is also close to Liberty City as well, which gives this theory another ground to stand on. However, even after all of that, I personally do not believe that he is Mr. Nasty. Just because he is cannibal doesn't really mean he has to enjoy watching or making snuff. But there are no evidence that suggest he is Mr. Nasty or the contrary. By the end of Manhunt, the fate of Mr. Nasty is never revealed, though it is highly believed that he is still working in the snuff film industry and have gotten away with everything. Hannibal Lecter is one of the most famous sociopathic villains and cannibals in movie history. Lecter was introduced in the 1981 thriller novel Red Dragon as a forensic psychiatrist and cannibalistic serial killer. Its sequel, The Silence of the Lambs, featured Lecter as one of the primary antagonists after the two serial killers in both novels. In the third novel, Hannibal, Lecter becomes a protagonist. His role as the anti-hero occurs in the fourth novel, Hannibal Rising, which explores his childhood and development into a serial killer. The character Donald Love is possibly also inspired by Lecter. In GTA Liberty City Stories, he asks Tony to bring him the bodies of Avery Carrington and Ned Burner to eat. Donald Love's appearance in GTA Liberty City Stories also bears some resemblance to Lecter himself. In Manhunt, the reason the Snuff film ring was able to exist is because of the fact that the head of the Carcer police chief, Gary Schaffer, was under the payroll of Leone Starkweather. He was working for him, and it was revealed in the game by a short cutscene with no visuals.
We've lost. What? Are you fucking... Oh, shut up and get some of your boys to take care of it. Don't file the arrest report. Don't kill him either. Send both to me.
Hey, remember who you're talking to, you son.
Listen, you fuck, it's your job to clean up this city's mess. That's what you get paid for.
Shit.
Okay, pull over here.
But it's another block or two to my apartment.
Just shut up and stick with me if you want to stay alive.
By the end of Manhunt, Cash manages to help a reporter who later on exposes Starkweather, and by the end of the game, he even manages to kill Starkweather as well. After that, we got to hear a briefing about Gary Schaffer and the fact that he is pleaded not guilty in court.
Acclaimed movie maker Lionel Starkweather has been found dead today, along with several of his bodyguards, at his estate at the Wapona Hills residential district. In what investigators are calling a bloody vendetta, an unknown assailant infiltrated the compound, killing Starkweather, but more interestingly, leading police to the site of a snuff film ring being run from the estate's confines. Linked to this ring is Carcer City's own police chief, Gary Schaffer, whose lawyer stated that he intends to plead not guilty.
In GTA 3 Lips 106 radio, you can actually get to hear about this. The lady mentions that Carcer City is nearby Liberty City. However, even though that's the case, we never got to visit Carcer ever again.
So I'm sitting here reading the Liberty Tree, and it says, in nearby Carcer City, a good day for law and order as Police Chief Gary Schaffer was cleared of corruption charges in a controversial decision by the court. Let's hope those missing witnesses turn up safe and sound.
Darkel was a character that was removed during the development of Grand Theft Auto 3. Little is known about the character, except that he was supposed to be an evil revolutionary street urchin who wanted to bring down Liberty City's economy through terrorism. He is also rumored to be located at an unknown location in Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. A lot of people also think that he was retextured into Ratman in Grand Theft Auto 4. Darkel was going to be a rebellious character that would give the player rampage-like missions that would usually involve killing a large number of people. The only Darkel mission that made it into the final product involved stealing an ice cream van using its jingle to attract pedestrians, then blowing it up. This mission was given by El Burro in the final version of the game. Its target was to kill a group of Forelli gangsters, and the name given to it was I Scream, You Scream.
I started my exotic entertainment business with nothing but the sizable contents of my leather pants. A gang of no-goods has threatened to remove my starring member if I don't pay them a cut. They threatened the wrong man, amigo. They have a weakness for the ice cream. Pick up the bomb I've hidden in Hardwood, hijack the regular ice cream van on its rounds, and lure these fools to their doom with the jingly jingly. They hide in a warehouse on Atlantic Key.
Darkel had his voice recorded for this part by Bill Fiore, but he was never used in the final version of the game. The character remains listed in Grand Theft Auto 3's manual credits and also having a character texture retained in the game's data files. The official Grand Theft Auto 3 website suggests that Darkel was to reside in the harbor tunnels that runs underneath a portion of Portland. In fact, there are remnants of his gang that spawns inside the same tunnel. They would all wear long brown robes just like Darkel. They usually stand in a circle encasing a hidden package and spawn holding Molotov cocktails. Rockstar did not reveal why Darkel was removed from the game for several years. It was theorized that he was removed due to the September 11th attacks, which happened a month before the release of the game. It is also theorized that he was going to give you a similar mission where you would fly a plane into a building. Rockstar did delay GTA 3 for 3 weeks to change various aspects of the game, including the color scheme of the police cars, presumably so they did not resemble those of the NYPD. In various interviews, Rockstar claimed that Darkel was removed because of his character and his missions did not fit in very well with the rest of the game, and denied that he was removed due to 9/11, and also denied the rumor that one of his missions was going to be exploding a school bus full of children. In an interview with Dan Houser on how 9/11 changed Grand Theft Auto 3, he said, "Some people believed we removed an entire strand of missions because they found some reference in the code to a character called Darkel, but he had been cut months before release, and the missions were never completed." Rockstar also said about Grand Theft Auto 3 Your Questions Answered Part 1, Claude, Darkel, and other characters that Darkel was just a crazy bum who gave you some crazy missions. They were removed a few months before the game was done and long before 9/11 because they just weren't as good as rest of the game, and tonally they were a little odd. He started with 5 missions and they were slowly all cut, when only 1 or 2 were left. They were all removed as the character just did not work alongside the other characters. None of these missions involved blowing up buses of school children, although that is a funny rumor. Some people believe that Darkel spawns in GTA 3 and they are still trying to find him. He is often reported running through dark alleyways and in the harbor tunnel where the rest of his gang can be found. Since his character model and textures are still in the game's internal files, many players believe that Darkel can spawn in Liberty City. People have made connections between Ratman and Darkel. Players have even speculated that Ratman was an Easter egg placed in GTA 4 by Rockstar to reference Darkel from Grand Theft Auto 3. Most of the players reported seeing a retextured Darkel in Grand Theft Auto 4. Many people said that he was removed from GTA 3's final version because he has some greater purpose, and they say that Rockstar instead used him in GTA 4. This is a valid theory because most descriptions of Ratman are very similar to Darkel's appearance. It has been confirmed that the beta version of Grand Theft Auto 3 had children, as well as drivable school buses, but they were removed in the final version of the game due to controversies that may have arisen from having children in a violent video game. Various pre-release screenshots of Grand Theft Auto 3 show school buses driving on the streets of Liberty City. The school buses came complete with light-adorned rears and a bright yellow paint job. However, these school buses were omitted from the final version of the game. No children were ever physically seen in any pre-release screenshots or artwork for the game, and there is no trace of any children NPC models in the game's files. In the final version of Grand Theft Auto 3, there are several clues that supported the existence of children in the beta version. There are wrecks of school buses around 8 Ball's compound and near the Harwood Car Crusher. The same exact bus wreck model continued to appear in later games, including GTA Vice City, GTA San Andreas, and Liberty City Stories, at the same locations as in 3. If children were an actual thing in Grand Theft Auto 3, then it would have been very disturbing because of the next entry in this iceberg. As I stated before, by the end of Manhunt, Cash manages to kill Starkweather to take revenge as he put Cash's life in danger and also killed his family members.
Hold up, Cash. You and your family weren't exactly close, am I right? It's just that I thought it would be nice to have a surprise reunion. But these war dogs didn't see it my way, and they've taken matters into their own hands. They're using them as bait, Cash. Bait! I know! I can hardly believe it myself. Each time they spot you, these war dogs are going to execute one of your beloved family.
Get out of here! Run!
You must understand, Cash. I could never let them go. Where were your family when you were facing your final moments in the chamber anyway? You've left your old life, your old self behind. I'm all the family you need now.
The reporter who helped Cash also exposes the Snuff ring to the world, but Carcer City was abandoned and corruption rose through the roof. It used to be a booming metropolitan. Eventually, the rise of crime got so high that it made the overwhelming population to leave and abandon the city. Starkweather hired a lot of criminals and gang members for his Snuff. After the fallout, it is possible that some of the stragglers left Carcer to not get caught by the authorities. This might not sound too disturbing, but let me explain some of the hunters and gang members who used to be in Starkweather's Snuff and resided in Carcer City. Hoods are the first hunter to ever appear in the game hunting for cash. Some of them might be off-duty cops trying to get in the Snuff making. Though they don't really know they are in a Snuff production, they treat the night as a blood sport. The Innocents, on the other hand, are completely opposite and much more dangerous. Their ranks are numbered with Latino thugs, cultists, and other mentally disturbed. Their weapons of choice are revolvers and sawed-off shotguns, but are also armed with knives, axes, and sickles. They also prefer to combine force instead of individual skill. The Innocents have two factions. The bulk of the Innocents are composed of the Skulls, a group of Latino goths, gangbangers, particularly Serenos, and Satanists who also belong to local gang sets such as Malos or Muerte 187. They wear dark-colored jeans, track pants, wife beaters, or torn hoodies along with Grim Reaper masks, frightening skull face paint, and gang tattoos. There are also the Baby Faces, a group of overweight perverts and mentally deficient murderers who Lionel Starkweather hired to add muscle to the gang. Their name comes from the creepy porcelain doll masks with oversized glass eyes they wear. They usually wear Hawaiian shirts, flannel shirts, brown or blue jean pants, pajama pants, sneakers, and slippers. Many of the Scullies, members of the Innocents, appear to be high on drugs and can be heard mentioning peyote. They also can be heard muttering to themselves about a dark, clairvoyant figure guiding them to kill Cash, along with curses and angry groans. Their counterparts, the Baby Faces, meanwhile, are suggested to be genuine psychopaths and pedophiles who add a distressing contrast to the Scullies. Most of them appear to be intellectually disabled, acting in a disturbing childlike nature, similar to the Smileys.
If you don't show yourself right now, why won't my baby boy come to me? I've no more time for hide and seek. You've been far too naughty for that. It's no good hiding. Daddy knows you're here. Time for Daddy to join in all the fun. Daddy's coming, Flower. Daddy's coming! Look, Daddy gets confused sometimes, says things he doesn't mean. Look, I'm sorry, Sunshine. Daddy won't shout again. Just come back out and we can be friends. Come on, you know Daddy would never hurt the apple of his eye.
Hell, you chewed him up like a pro!
I was going to talk about the Smileys too, but chances are Cash killed all of them because they were the insane inmates of the Darkwood Penitentiary. The last dangerous group of hunters that I want to mention is the Cerberus. They were a private protection working for Lionel Starkweather, and it is possible that Mr. Nasty was watching it all. And if he is Donald Love, then this theory technically becomes proven. Anyways, the Cerberus used to work for Starkweather till the last moment. In my opinion, there shouldn't be any more Cerberus working for him because it makes no sense why would they all not be in his mansion when Cash was going to kill Starkweather. But there are some theories that suggests that not all of them were on his mansion at that time. Some of them probably were at other rendezvous points and coming to him but was too late. If children were in GTA 3, that means the baby faces would hunt and pray for them in Liberty City after escaping from Carcer. Along with Darkel, the tone of Grand Theft Auto 3 would totally shift and you can start to see why Rockstar never went down that route. And that is why this is a really dark theory when you get to know about Manhunt. Is it just me, or do you also feel like being watched when you play this game? Something about GTA 3 is very uncanny and I quite cannot put my finger on it. I think it comes from the sense of isolation. I don't really know what exactly about GTA 3 always made me feel this way, but if you ask me, I think it has to be because of the way the game looks. The primitive graphics of Grand Theft Auto 3 often makes you feel like the game is being held with duct tape and somehow running. The low polygon character models with clipping textures and body parts also adds to that world building. GTA 3 is always a very atmospheric game, something you cannot say for games releasing on the PS5 even in 2025. Even when it's sunny and daylight, GTA 3 is never too bright. Looking at the sun will always make you feel like it's a sunset. The nights are almost always too cloudy and atmospheric smokes are everywhere. The same was also in GTA Vice City, but in that game at least the fog added to the 80s style, but in GTA 3 it's more like being moody. Another thing that makes GTA 3 feel that way has to do with the constant pop-in. GTA 3 was the first 3D open world game Rockstar has ever made, which is why it's also the roughest around some edges. But that technological limitation and knowledge only adds to the world building of the game instead of destroying it. Small details like throwing a grenade and dead fish coming up to the surface of the water, headshot animation, low resolution trees that oddly stands out and makes the game have an uncanny feeling, trees with collision and visible lines that glitch with textures behind it, the ambient noise the game makes even when the weather is perfect and you're not near the water, giving you a sense of being on an island and shortly breaking the illusion of being on a big city, ghost airplanes where you never see anyone enter and cannot fly, all adds to the Grand Theft Auto 3 feeling. Part of it also has to do with Manhunt being in the same universe as Grand Theft Auto 3. The weapon pickup sounds of GTA 3 are actually reused in Manhunt, so knowing about Manhunt and seeing that the aesthetics of GTA 3 is similar to it also adds to that feeling. This makes me think that a morning in Liberty City is probably similar to Carcer as well. The draw distance being low makes the game have that constant pop-ins. This makes me feel like GTA 3 is a rushed out game, even though that quite isn't true. But it feels that way because a lot of low budget and low effort games during the PlayStation 2 era actually worked that way, but Grand Theft Auto 3 has a lot of world building in it, so those two ideas and visuals constantly clash with each other and gives us a world that truly is unlike anything. And at the same time, it makes it very clear to the players that this world really does revolve around you, which means someone probably is watching you. GTA 3 is set in Liberty City, which is a parody of New York City. It might be only me because I'm from here, but New York City has that somber coloring to its architecture like in Grand Theft Auto 3. It is in a way very depressing, and I believe that is exactly what Rockstar Games wanted to achieve, because by doing so, they created a world that feels incredibly immersive and at the same time very uncomfortable. If you asked me, is GTA 3 a beautiful looking game or not, I would honestly tell you no. But at the same time, it is not ugly, far away from it actually. The best description I can give you about the world of Grand Theft Auto 3 and the way it looks and feels to the player is dirty. One thing that Grand Theft Auto 3 does very good is, because of this atmosphere and world building, it makes it completely believable that Manhunt really does belong to this universe. When it rains in GTA 3, the rain actually moves, giving the players a feel of going in and out of raindrops. And it is something that I haven't seen any other GTA game to do. The last thing I want to say on why it actually feels like someone is watching you when you play Grand Theft Auto 3 is because of the mythic nature of the game. As the first game in a series that is full of conspiracies mysteries and hoaxes, Grand Theft Auto 3 shapes itself around the players while at the same time makes you feel like the world does exist beyond the draw distance. And that really is the magic of Grand Theft Auto 3 that isn't there on any other Grand Theft Auto games that came after it. I would like to thank Mundo-based YT for giving me the inspiration of this theory on the GTA Vice City Iceberg. And with that, the disturbing theories iceberg of Grand Theft Auto 3 comes to an end. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please become a member of my channel for more icebergs and GTA content, and also to get early access to my videos. A special thanks to Do Smoke TV for becoming a member of the channel and supporting me. With that being said, have a nice day, and Perfect Enrager signing out.